Hey folks, in this video we'll discuss a fascinating topic. What if Spider-Man had kept the black suit? This story is similar to the symbiote Spider-Man concept. It starts with Peter acquiring the black suit during the first Secret Wars event. However, in this What If Spider Shadow series written by Chip Zedarsky, we explore a darker twist to the storyline of Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man. It takes us back to a time when Peter had just returned from an event called the First Secret Wars, wearing a black suit. During this period, Aunt May stopped talking to him because he had dropped out of school. MJ, his fiancée at the time, called off their engagement and he spent more time with Felicia. In addition, he had to deal with villains like Hobgoblin and Richard Fisk. Peter was sleep deprived during this time because of his connection to the black suit. He had nightmares due to wearing it. In What If Spider Shadow, we are shown one of these nightmares where Peter wears the suit on Earth. He realizes that the suit gives him physical strength but also affects his mind. In the dream, Felicia, MJ, and Aunt May question whether he did enough or gave his all, as the people he loves always seem to die. Gwen Stacy interrupts the nightmare and wakes him up. Peter believes his nightmares are simply due to stress from conflicts with Aunt May and his complicated relationships with MJ and Felicia. To clear his mind, he puts on the suit and goes swinging, unaware that the suit is causing his nightmares. While swinging around, Peter notices that he feels better when wearing the suit, thinking of it as advanced alien technology. He still takes it off at night, not realizing that his nightmares are connected to the suit. As he swings and reflects on things, he realizes that the black suit scares villains and gives him unlimited webbing. However, Peter still longs for his old red and blue suit deep down. As he thinks about it, the black suit transforms back to its original colors, which surprises him. He decides to stick with the black suit for now, but keeps the option of returning to his friendly neighborhood look in mind. Shortly after, Peter hears an old lady being attacked in an alley and jumps in to help. Initially, he approaches the situation with humor, but his mood changes as he takes down the assailants. He expresses frustration at constantly dealing with criminals, reflecting the internal struggle between his darker impulses and his desire to do good, similar to his initial encounter with the symbiote. However, this conflict is now more detailed and intense. After assisting the older lady, Peter calls the police to handle the situation and arrest the criminals. Peter tries to get some sleep afterwards, but the nightmares return. In one of them, he hears a voice questioning his identity as the spider or something else. The voice abruptly cuts off when MJ wakes him up, causing Peter to knock her across the room accidentally. MJ is unharmed, but this incident highlights Peter's darker behavior. MJ had recently ended their relationship due to the challenges of his double life. Concerned about his sleep deprivation and behavior, she checks on Peter and notices the new suit, sensing that something is off. Peter vaguely mentions that it's not from around there and leaves without further explanation. Peter recalls his plan to have Reed Richards examine the suit and decides it's a good time. As he heads to see Reed, he notices that the suit has stopped shooting webs, possibly because it doesn't want to go. This reinforces his belief that Reed can figure out what the suit needs. However, he sees an explosion before reaching Reed's place, and the suit starts shooting webs again. Peter changes his plans and swings toward the explosion to investigate. At the scene, he encounters the Hobgoblin, whom he had faced multiple times. In this parallel reality, Peter prioritizes confronting the Hobgoblin instead of seeing Reed, deviating from the familiar storyline. The confrontation proves challenging but ends quickly. Peter expresses his exhaustion with constant battles and declares his intention to end them, surprising the Hobgoblin, who senses Peter's agitated state. During the encounter, the suit urges Peter to kill the Hobgoblin, but Peter chooses not to, and reveals the Hobgoblin's true identity as Roderick Kingsley. Roderick explains his pursuit of power, which the suit emphasizes through fear. Peter asserts that he will show them real power and physically confronts Roderick. Instead of capturing him, Peter tells Roderick to spread the word among other villains that Spider-Man means business. Afterwards, he meets Black Cat but isn't in the mood for playful banter and asks her not to use the nickname Tiger reserved for close family. In Part 5 of Spider Shadow, the symbiote creates resistant offspring, and Johnny's distress call leads Peter to face the symbiote-controlled Reed Richards. Unlike previous cases, this symbiote speaks through Reed's body. Due to Reed's reluctance, Johnny is spared and MJ shoots the symbiote. Meanwhile, Peter realizes that symbiote offspring have taken over other heroes, which multiply and jump between hosts. Peter is unsure what to do next as the situation has escalated beyond his expectations. Peter asks Felicia not to call him Tiger and plans to have the suit checked by Reed Richards. Peter responds curtly at the Fantastic Four headquarters to Johnny's playful announcement. When he meets Reed, he learns that the suit will be examined. Peter explains his lack of sleep and web shooter malfunction, but doesn't believe the suit is causing it. He requests a nap during the scan and Reed agrees. During his sleep, Peter has nightmares of people in need, and Aunt May suggests hurting others to save them. Peter rejects the idea, but a dark voice insists on the strength of causing harm. Reed interrupts his dream as the tests are done. Peter mentions the nightmares, and Reed explains that the suit bonds with him physically and mentally, reacting to his thoughts. Reed reveals the suit is more like a symbiote. Reed asks Peter to remove the suit for further investigation, but Peter abruptly refuses, indicating his resistance to parting with it. Peter questions Reed's actions and believes the suit has the right to choose. He refuses to let the suit be locked up and experimented on. He still needs to protect his identity without the suit, so Johnny gives him an old Fantastic Four suit with a paper bag mask. Peter talks to Aunt May, apologizing for his behavior and seeking her help. Hobgoblin follows them, and Aunt May calls for help. Peter confronts Hobgoblin, blaming him for attacking his home. Peter leaves Aunt May in danger in the fight, killing her in an explosion. The symbiote blames Peter and encourages him to hurt others. Peter brutally attacks Hobgoblin, declaring he will use his power. After killing Hobgoblin, Peter's symbiosis with the suit evolves physically and mentally. They discuss the responsibility that comes with power and realize their previous interpretation was wrong. The symbiote justifies their actions, believing villains deserve punishment. However, Peter doesn't want to be seen as a murderer by Mary Jane and others. Kingpin sees Spider-Man's violent behavior as a threat and orders his associate to eliminate him. J. Jonah Jameson plans to publish negative articles accusing Spider-Man of manslaughter. Spider-Man confronts Jonah, injuring his hand and warning him to stop writing negative stories. The Fantastic Four examine Spider-Man's test results, and Reed concludes that the symbiote will permanently bond with him. Johnny searches for Spider-Man but can't find him, causing concern. MJ visits Peter's apartment after Aunt May's funeral. Peter explains his difficult decision between saving the Hobgoblin or Aunt May. He tells MJ that he must make such choices due to his power. Peter decides to take action but feels uneasy about MJ knowing the truth. He is attacked by the Shocker and Scorpion sent by Wilson Fisk. Peter defeats them and confronts the Shocker, who admits Fisk was right about Spider-Man becoming a killer. Fisk confronts Peter, revealing he knows his secret identity and connection to Aunt May's death. Peter brutally attacks Fisk. The Sinister Six form with J. Jonah Jameson as the sixth member. They plan to strike together. Eddie Brock joins them, blaming Spider-Man for ruining his life. Reed and Johnny continue searching for Spider-Man. News breaks of Beetle's death, confirming Mysterio's mention of using her as bait. Spider-Man heads towards the new Sinister Six. The Sinister Six, including Jameson and Eddie Brock, await Spider-Man. They find the Beetle trapped in webs and call for help. Spider-Man attacks Mysterio and confronts the group. Spider-Man activates his instant kill mode and faces off against Rhino. Spider-Man is disappointed in the trap and asserts his superiority. Jameson intervenes with his Spider Slayer armor and captures Spider-Man. The barn explodes, but Jameson protects Peter. Jameson realizes Peter is Spider-Man and saves him from Kraven. Peter confides in Jameson about the symbiote. Jameson brings Peter to his apartment, where MJ and Felicia are present. Wilson Fisk revealed Peter's identity before his death. The symbiote bonds with Reed Richards to gain knowledge and create more symbiotes, justifying its actions. After the battle with the Sinister Six, Peter is separated from the symbiote in a fire. Jameson takes Peter home, where Mary Jane and Felicia are also present. They discover that Peter is wanted for murder, so he quickly prepares to leave. He suggests that everyone else lay low while he takes care of the situation. Peter plans to take Mary Jane and asks Felicia to take Jameson home. Felicia is unhappy with Peter leaving with Mary Jane, and Jameson wants to offer a cash reward for capturing the symbiote. Peter takes Mary Jane home and sees the symbiote covering the Baxter building, indicating that it has taken over Reed Richards. Mary Jane tries to reassure Peter that it's not entirely his fault, but he feels responsible for bringing the symbiote there. They discuss the nature of the symbiote, considering its history and the potential influence of Peter's darker side. Mary Jane reminds Peter that he has always fought against the dark side and encourages him to go after the bad guys. The scene shifts to the Baxter building, where the Avengers are located. Iron Man, X-Factor, and the Avengers are present outside the building. Realizing it's a hostage situation, Peter and Mary Jane arrive, and Peter claims to know what the symbiote wants. Johnny blames Peter for not removing the symbiote earlier, but Sue redirects the discussion to how to enter the building. Peter shares that the symbiote is vulnerable to fire and Johnny can help. They suspect the symbiote has taken over Reed Richards and fortified the building. Captain America advises against Peter going in alone due to his experience with the symbiote's control. Peter insists it's his responsibility, but is joined by Mary Jane and Johnny. Inside, they encounter people bonded with the symbiote. Johnny creates a passageway line while Mary Jane prepares for action. Peter and Johnny are attacked by the Thing in the elevator shaft. Johnny avoids the attack, but Peter fights back and intentionally knocks the Thing out of the building to call for help. Johnny reaches Reed's lab and confronts the symbiote, using Reed's knowledge to save everyone based on Peter's supposed desires. The symbiote has protective abilities against fire. Peter goes through a quick trial with testimonies from other heroes affected by the symbiote and is found not guilty of the charges against him. However, he still feels guilty and uncertain about continuing as Spider-Man. Sue Richards approaches Peter and reassures him that her family understands Reed's death wasn't his fault. She shares their experiences with tragedy and offers support to Peter, hinting at the possibility of him joining the Fantastic Four. In a post-credit scene-like epilogue, Wilson Fisk is determined to destroy Peter Parker. His doctors propose a solution that could help Fisk recover and destroy Peter. The scene ends with the hint of a recovered symbiote, leaving room for more possibilities and potential conflicts involving Kingpin, Eddie, and the surviving symbiote with Reed's memories.